Fudge. So now up against Renekton. We are expecting some top lane pressure. Obviously, Sion is one that you leave on an island and hope he survives it. So I want to know how much Team Liquid get done. But it also means both teams need their entire bottom lanes now in this draft. And Cloud9, with first pick after these rounds of bans, are still taking down the high priority picks like Thresh instead of taking it for themselves.
And honestly, you can get some sneaky ganks in early on Renekton, even if you're a Sion matchup, because Renekton is expecting, a pretty free lane up there. But if Nidalee goes up there and you get a 1 kill on that Renekton, Sion grabs an early Bramble Vest and just holds on to that, and there are just all your problems are kind of washed away. If you can get that early influx and get to that as quick as possible, really helps with your sustain in any of the trades that Renekton tries to gain advantage with. And Renekton at the early levels, Sion, can actually handle himself. Here we go into the support bans, though, whittling way, way, way down on this support pool. We are going.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going looking like some Nautilus action and Senna TK. Both of those are probably much higher priority now, with Ezreal also joining in on the ban list here.
Yeah, although if you're Senna TK, you have very little damage, and TL can put in front line. Now, they don't have huge healers. Ooh, okay. This goes the other way around. If you get rid of all the aggressive supports, Thresh and Rell and Leon off the table, you could play hard backline. Jinx, though, not going to be grabbed since there's no Thresh for safety. Ashe, again, not buffed in this patch, not in other regions playoffs either, buffed in 11.7 live solo queue, but still pretty solid backline damage output. Obviously, even more crowd control since Sion is your only remote crowd control on this team right now. But Senna TK on the other side, going to be very comfortable, and with an Orianna and Renekton there, the Liquid are not hurting for damage.
Yeah, I like the Ashe lock-in a lot more than when Cloud9 tried to play Kalista into the Senna Tahm Kench with Rell, though. I think Ashe has Ashe has a pretty strong, despite the not getting the buffs you're talking about quite yet, still has a strong lane phase. Still can get that harassment out early on and gain you some control from the bottom side. And like you're saying, if you have an Ashe arrow to set up your Sion drifting, it makes it so much easier to not look like a fool. And they're actually going to do it. It's the Jinx instead of the Senna. Because the Ashe is a little bit more difficult to deal with the Senna. I mean, the Kalista is shorter range, and it's a lot easier to get your harassment off there. Ashe, even now with the W plus auto, can do just fine into it. And the Braum pickup, last pick here for Cloud9, able to block off a lot of what Jinx tries to do in these team fights, could be such a big difference. You have Braum Sion frontline with plenty of CC there on the side of C9, with what should be high pressure mid lane. Perkz on this Lucian is the kind of crowning jewel here for the Cloud9 comp into Team Liquid. That's going to be a lot of the game plan. Nidalee plus Lucian here are going to be the ones that have to do a lot of the work in the early game.
I think if it weren't Perkz for mid lane, I wouldn't like Cloud9's draft. Nidalee is not going to be that big of a damage threat overall. I mean, Sion and Braum obviously are not, and you're going to have an armor stack. And yes, Lord Dominik's is a very, very good item, and that's going to help a whole lot, but still, efficient itemization really, really matters. Ashe does not have good ways out from Renekton plus Shockwave. Like, she is just dead to that. And Lucian does not rise, right? If you hard dive Zven and you get him, Perkz not doing the same stuff that he was doing in the previous game, where he's going to take the fight into his own hands afterwards. So there are what I feel some pretty significant weaknesses on the Cloud9 comp. But as you mentioned, Kobe, yeah, the crowning jewel of the comp is Perkz on the Lucian. He should be able to get stuff done. And maybe I'm wrong in the end of the day regardless, but my eyes are really on how much C9 can do through mid.
And I will say, I think Team Liquid are more dependent on flash timers this game than they have been in previous ones, because Udyr and Renekton can be extremely threatening in your team fights. When you have flash, Stridebreaker with Renekton has gone a long way in adding this extra dash to open up how you can actually play team fights and get back to that Lucian, to your point where he can't do the same things as he could on Rise. But without flash, Udyr, Renekton, and this is not a farming Tahm Kench, by the way, for CoreJJ. It's going to be a lot weaker. Without those flashes, they're going to have a significantly more difficult time, to get past this Braum Sion front line, which definitely is much tankier than what Team Liquid are bringing to the table.
Sure.
So they definitely have to work around these cooldowns. Definitely have to keep these timers in chat. That's been one of the biggest things. Actually, one of the big pivot points earlier in the Fnatic Schalke series with the upset there with the 3-0. Watching that game 3 and seeing them flash in on Ajay without the flash timer, and then him getting the triple kill on Corki because he still had flash was that's one of those moments where I'm like, flash timers, remember, you gotta
Ooh, Jensen? Oh, this is a little bit of danger. I mean, Tahm Kench is here, but with Ashe slows the dash in, I mean, Jensen's laning phase is so doomed now. He's at 200 health, and he's got a flash. Perkz on the flash chase. It's an early first blood. It's 120 in the game. Meanwhile, Fudge is going down as well. We got kills everywhere. We got a spicy game 4. First blood saves lives.
Oh
no, Santorin! Oh, he's actually just dead. Ah, jeez, what a game.
Yo, Sion zombie is not to be trifled with, my friend. Fudge given as good as he got there almost with Santorin's life flashing before his eyes, trying to run to the bramble back for help there. Greets him with open arms, though, so it's still a 1-for-1. It's a story in 2 parts as 2 solo laners get chased down by the opposing team for early gold, but the more devastating one is the Lucian getting that. That is Perkz' first blood on the Lucian mid. That is actually going to be a huge game changer. Meanwhile, the Fudge one over here is flash used by Santorin to follow up as well. Alphari, I think, a really intelligent decision not to immediately just reaction flash and also follow Fudge. I think that's good communication from Santorin, saying, hey, I got this, I'll use my flash. My goodness, if he hadn't smited right there, that was one more auto. He was actually going to die right there. But yeah, walking back into the Sion ultimate, or Sion passive, never advised. Regardless, again, Alphari does still have his flash. I think that was a really good communication by Team Liquid, not to overexpend resources there. And it can be a big point of power there with Renekton trying to bully Sion on top side. But again, I think the bigger one is Perkz here with first blood in mid lane. He didn't get his recall off. But he should be able to shove in Jensen, open up an easy recall timing. You see Jensen's Orianna already having to expend teleport with a teleport difference as well on top of this first blood money.
Well, Alphari's here. Alphari has flash. Perkz is in dash flash range, but it wouldn't be lethal damage. Sends out the sad B like, hey, buddy, nice try. No, really, hey, nice try. Oh, did you miss out on that kill? Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry. Go walk back to top lane. By the way, our top laner, he's up in farm. Enjoy.
I want to shout out the trash talk beforehand, Phreak, because Alphari and Perkz have been having this back and forth about Perkz said, Alphari, yeah, you may be the best top laner over here in the LCS, but that's because I haven't played top yet, and I will come beat you up. That's actually Alphari coming down towards mid lane, saying that he's going to have something to say about Perkz' mid lane dominance, which we saw in the last game. So these two coming over from Europe, still having a little bit of a beef. Does get chased out there. Good scouting by Cloud9. Perkz was told early on, Alphari is roaming. He's coming to look for you, so, don't die to my lane.
So far not happening. Right now, small gold lead to Cloud9. About what you expect off of the first blood trades back and forth. A camp lead right now for Blaber as Vulcan goes deep for some ward coverage. Doesn't get spotted while doing so. Ooh, he might cross paths with CoreJJ. This could actually be some danger. But Blaber's nearby. Yeah, jumps in, out he goes.
Mission successful. Secret Agent Braum infiltrated the back lines. That ward back behind red buff is the least cleared ward in the game. Fun fact, the wards actually have a visual transformation if they last long enough. I think it's like, what, 10 minutes? It's either 10 or 15 minutes. Oh. And so we'll keep track of this one. See if this ward gets a visual transformation because, that one, you don't really have a reason to go through that brush when you're clearing. But it does scout out when you're going for red, when you transition over towards Perkz, gives Zven and Vulcan a little bit more safety.
Alphari proxying the wave real quick, level 5. And with this wave going down from mostly just spells, it means Alphari gets to get a pretty aggressive recall off. Might go for a plate now. He's going to go for an aggressive recall. Perkz got to be careful. Level 6, not for either one just yet. He's got to be reasonably close and should be ahead of Jensen. But right now, not going to be the case. Santorin feeling good about the bot lane pressure. Jinx, Tahm Kench doing well. Blast Plant goes away. First Drake very early in as well, by the way. 5:30 on the clock right now as this Dragon's going to go down. Through the region, obviously quite nice. Certainly going to be helpful, especially for Jensen right now. And this is a good early start of the Dragon stacking. And late game team fighting, by the way, Jinx Orianna going to be outstanding in that situation as well. So Team Liquid off a honestly fairly docile game now. Feeling good.
I think they're feeling great considering Perkz got the first blood. And I thought this was going to be devastating for mid lane. Nice dodge there with the dash on the shockwave, baiting that out from Jensen. But I thought this was going to be a bigger gap than it is. Blaber coming down for CoreJJ, though.
Could be a target. No dashes yet for Perkz, but Alphari, the flash follow. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. And Alphari, is he dead to the turret? One auto. Blaber flash Qs. Gets that one in. Nice kill picked up by Cloud9.
You know what that is, Phreak? His shockwave wasn't up because he used it earlier. He got baited by Perkz and his shockwave was useless and dodged by the E earlier. If he had shockwave there, that was a kill. Oh my goodness. I was just going to commend Alphari for making sure that this Lucian First Blood wasn't as big of a deal as we thought it was going to be by virtue of him pushing in, bullying Fudge, and then roaming. But then this commit. Ah, man, maybe they didn't communicate they didn't have it, but that was so close. Just barely not enough damage. No level 6 on Alphari, no shockwave there on Jensen, and Perkz just gets to laugh it off. Flash is traded as well. This now means that the Renekton is also less aggressive, more vulnerable on top side since Alphari doesn't have flash. Blaber knows it.
He's 6 though. He's 6. Sinol's going to land. A lot of health can go to Alphari though, and he's going to pop it right now, plus 200. And now is it going to be enough for the rest of it though, as Blaber comes back in for another javelin, another shot, and there's just no way out. He never runs backwards. Never has a chance to. Another kill for Cloud9, and look at this, 3-1 in kills. It's a 12-14 actually 100 gold lead.
I feel like Alphari. Oh no, the ward's dead. It didn't last nearly long enough. Good job, Santorin. Every once in a while, I'll pass through that brush. I feel like Alphari is paying for the sins of mid lane. Honestly, that is so sad. You know, he's a little bit tilted after that. Double roams towards mid. There's no ultimate available, so they don't get the kill. He dies and burns his flash, and then it gets killed in the repeat gank by Blaber. That is just the most insanely tilting thing for a top laner, and especially Renekton. Because guess what? Renekton with a 5 CS lead over Sion now, that's it. Are you kidding me? That's going to do jack in the mid game here, where Sion gets to be a massive front line. Got to that bramble vest we were talking about, so Fudge can just hold on to that, hug it like a teddy bear in lane. He'll be just fine. And I got to say props to Blaber for the repeat gank. And props to Perkz surviving with, what was it, 40 HP?
Nice sidestep by Jensen. At least gets the Q to lead to the side and gets right back out of it. That can be tough to do, but he does it really nicely. Speaking of Jack, got to be happy in this one as Cloud9 leading the series, and 3-1 may just be the kill score, and no longer 3-2 as the kill comes across. Nicely done by Santorin. Sets it up for the shockwave. Perkz without flash cannot outplay that.
Yep, that's what the first attempt was supposed to look like, Phreak. Definitely shockwave diff right here in the mid lane plays. Santorin going to take that kill and easily turn it into a Rift Trail. Blaber can even get chased out of the river here. Full control for Team Liquid. Nice follow-up. Looks like the rest of them not so tilted there, able to take down Perkz. And Alphari trying to pick up where he left off.
Bit of damage across, but not going to mean all that much. Herald picked up now as well, so Santorin gets Team Liquid on the way to 2 neutral objectives picked up. Top lane turret will not give its plate gold to anyone, so despite the fact that turret took damage, it is not any income. It might mean a turret dies at some point later on, but not 160 into the inventory of Alphari. We'll see if the Rift Tail can change that later on. Right now, Santorin just in the farm, and Perkz gonna now grab his first plate. Mid lane gonna fall, no problem there. Dashes away, not gonna greed for any more than that.
Yep, quick little touch there. Plenty of gold, no problem. C9 still with a very comfortable gold lead in this game, despite the early dragon given over. Very efficient pathing here by Perkz. Look at this. One tap on the turret, plate. Immediately over, one W here on the blue buff. Pick that up, keep on pushing in. Like to see the full circle here from him. They still need him to gain space on mid lane. He needs to be pushing in on Orianna. You push the wave in, then you have 30 seconds to either look for your roam or even go for cullings on the Orianna towards her turret, chunk her out to allow your team an extra health advantage, pressure advantage to go be able to make a play. Dragon is coming up in 10 seconds, so he uses his push timer off of mid to get vision through this dragon pit first. Full river has been cleared. Bottom side pushed up as well. And they're calling down Alphari. Team Liquid not going to let this one go without a fight. It would be Dragon number 2 for them, so they're committing everything. Fudge has teleport, he can join, but he has to join early if Cloud9 want to fight it because he's the front line.
He is. So, look at the gold right now. Perkz and Blaber, the rich ones. Jensen, Santorin right behind. Now we get to see if the buys and the fights are going to matter. Vision is there, and yeah, no one's willing to fight for it. No one on Team Liquid's going to do this battle.
Yeah, Alphari went back topside. Yeah, so you can definitely tell as soon as he heads back up the river and heads topside, Team Liquid give up on that call.
That felt Jinx rocketable, by the way. Tactical, they had complete vision, and since Nidalee is basically always melee while taking that camp, that actually just should have been an attempt. Just, you know, duck into the brush, throw it through Tri-Brush. You've got to control it in Tri-Brush. Like, they won't even see the rocket. Like, if you guess right, you just get a Dragon Steal. I think he probably should have gone for the opportunity. But we are going to see, for the first time this series, despite being the third first Herald for Liquid, they finally get the turret out of that play. So finally, some big pressure topside, a 15 CS lead, 4 turret plates and first turret gold. Alphari can now be the man of the game. Let's see if it's going to be enough, though, because guess what? Blaber has arrived, and Santorin's got to come back around. 200 HP. Sion ult comes in, big CC, a smite, but Santorin just has to die for his top laner. Why even walk in? Oh, it's a tragedy. And Cloud9 find kill number 4.
Oh, mid lane now.
Okay, Perkz jumping away, but hey, with CoreJJ here, honestly, Vulcan, okay, he's going to get out thanks to the culling from Perkz doing enough damage to scare him away, but that could have been really dangerous.
Yeah, honestly, if there was no exhaust there from Vulcan, I think that's actually unironically a good sombrero attempt from Jensen. Yeah. If there's no exhaust there, you can just ult with the ball straight on your head as Lucian's walking in, pull him away from the wall so he can't get away, and could have been a big play, but Vulcan exhaust is the game saver there. Comes up big for Cloud9, so no bloodshed on their side. And meanwhile, I think it's just so funny too. Alphari spent the early game dying for the sins of mid lane, and then Blaber now died for the sins of top lane of him pushing up, and it's turned into this whole backwards pay it forward type of situation for Team Liquid.
All right, Kobe, who's dying for whom next? I'll give you time to like look at summoners and ults.
Yeah, I was gonna say CoreJJ because he's a homie and he is playing Tahm Kench, so so he goes in Devour for someone, but he does have Cleanse Flash available too, so he honestly will probably get out of it since Alphari is the one without the flash. He might actually be the safer pick.
I'm gonna go with Perkz gonna die for Perkz. Like he's just gonna like run it in and it's like, oh well, that's on me, my bad. Judging by the player, you know that's the way he goes sometimes. We'll see where it goes though. Jensen and Perkz still trading back and forth. Honestly, though, props to Jensen has tied the score line up as far as CS is concerned. With considering that, you know, Alphari handed over a kill at one point. He himself got first blooded. And CS so far.
Fair enough, fair enough. Honestly, it definitely has been a battleground this mid lane, and we saw it emerging after game 2, game 3, especially last one with so many mid ganks there coming from top lane and support role on both sides. Definitely liking the fluidity of these lanes because the best teams in the world, you definitely notice as soon as they get an opening, these roam timers, they make use of these roam timers very efficiently, and you can see them just 30 seconds. You got to go now. You push down, you look for the play. Even if there's no play there, you can snap right back, rubber band to your lane if you don't find an overcommitment there. Cloud9, though, trying to establish or re-establish some control of this river here with Blaber again going with the Everfrost on Nidalee for the extra CC rather than the possible extra teamfight damage of like a Heart Knight Harvester.
Nice try on the spear toss, not going to find anything there. Ultimately, Cloud9 with 4 in mid lane, saying, hey, we're going to make sure this wave is ours. Cool. Yep, us. Cool. Nice. Okay. 80 seconds till the next dragon spawns up. Cloud Soul this game, plus the movement speed around the buffs, as happens when it's a Cloud Soul map. We'll see which team gets to go for it. Honestly, the gold basically tied, and I want to reiterate, I like TL's late game composition. Certainly on top side, I'll take a late Sion over a late Renekton, but I really like Orianna and Jinx in the end game, and I don't know what Lucian's going to do as the front line stacks up armor as they come through. Stride Breaker now done. You can see Fudge trying to fight tactical. Honestly, he could ult. Maybe that would be okay. But looks like he felt like he could sidestep, and Fudge doesn't go for the play.
Ooh, CoreJJ gets both summoners blown, though. And this is not the farming Tahm Kench. He's not nearly as tanky. So definitely a vulnerable target now. We'll probably have to play a little bit more defensively with his positioning, just hovering behind to devour for people. Yeah, I think Fudge is actually fine. With how the early game changed, with the roams mid from Alphari being punished, and Sion getting 2 free Bramble vests and not being behind in CS, Fudge is just living the dream world for that matchup. Now he's level 11 Sion, feels completely fine with Frostfire completed. So he's definitely going to be the biggest tank on the Rift.
Perkz has to flash away because that was going to be a 3v1. He's still going to come on down. Blaber's nearby. Blue Smite slows him down. Tongue Lash going to land. Santorin flashes. Ult's going to slow him down, though, and Perkz is uncatchable. Shockwave not going to land either. And the arrow hits the flashless CoreJJ. He's the death after all, Kobe. You got it right. And now the re-engage looks good, though. A heal keeps Fudge alive. The last rocket kills him. Has get excited, doesn't matter because Tactical is already dead. It's a 2-for-1 fight. Jensen very, very low. A stun from Alphari not going to mean enough. Stun as he dashed the way, though. Ultimately still 2-for-1 the team fight in favor of Cloud9.
So Cloud9 can push on top side, get this top tower in addition to the dragon. That's 2 objectives off of this play here from Perkz, flashing away from the attempt on Team Liquid. This is going to be massive for their mid game. Look at how it starts. CoreJJ does ult Orianna right in towards Perkz. They throw out the shockwave pretty early on too. You see Perkz coming back here. They wanted to. Santorin flashed, bear slap, then shockwave. But since he gets stunned back up there, shockwave also whiffs. Zven's Ashe arrow comes right down the river, and it's a disaster for Team Liquid. Fudge does barely get chunked down there with the last auto from Tactical killing him off, but it's still going to be control of the Rift afterwards for Cloud9 since they chunk out everybody's health bars and gain 2 objectives off of that play. There's the dragon in addition to that top tower that they are able to get as rewards, even with it only being the trade on kills.
That whiff shockwave is such a big deal, though, because they could have never piled on a CoreJJ if you still had that up, because you just instantly lose Blaber and Fudge in that play, and I don't think you get the kill afterwards. So a whiffed ulti, meaning a lot here. Jensen staring down the barrel of a 1-3 loss to his old team, the one who gave him his start in the LCS, and, well, might not get it this time around. Team Liquid won the lock-in, but the part that matters more is this upper bracket fight in the midseason showdown. Cloud9 are on their way to a 3-1 victory. Again, though, still favor TL scaling. Cloud9 got to get a lot done. Arrow flying across. There's a CoreJJ right here. Tactical, yeah, you're dead. You know what? It's not going to matter. Fudge somehow gains the kill anyway, as I think he just burned him down.
We've hit the point, Phreak. Nobody's dying for anyone anymore. They're like, every man for himself. I'm out of here. I'm not going to take this Sion ultimate. I love it, though. A little bit of a zoning Ashe ultimate down the middle, so that makes it easier for Fudge to aim the Sion ultimate down that little corridor. Tactical stood no chance. Just Jinx trying to walk away from it. And C9 off of that pick. They can push out again. Attempted brush play there is actually called off by Team Liquid. Scouted out by Ashe as well now as Zven comes through. So C9 avoid any counterplay there from Team Liquid.
And that means a ward goes over. 30 gold to Perkz. Golden XP stacking up. Void Staff second in for Blaber, going for a more offensive build. Of course, he is the only real magic damage on the team, but it also means no one's going to buy MR. Void Staff's a little much, but it's still a decent damage item.
Udyr's got a lot of MR. There's MR in Turbo Chem Tank, plus
you're right.
Another No Magic Mantle.
And he's doing Force of Nature instead of Dead Man's Plate as his second move speed item. So yeah, that's valid actually. There is some MR in that build. Otherwise though, there is one No Magic Mantle and anyone else not named Udyr, and that's Tahm Kench going towards his own pieces of what I believe to be Locket. I think has Aegis on it. Here we go, though. Fudge spots wars with Alphari. Neither one. Actually, no. Fudge feeling comfortable. Has the level lead. Despite the CS deficit, feels comfortable and knocks down the opposing control board.
Yeah, this Renekton with only Stride Breaker right now. Okay, Alphari is going to cash in his Cull. I'm actually curious how much gold Alphari has in inventory, because I don't think he's this poor to only have Stride Breaker. Sion, obviously, much better inventory of items. Okay, he's got 1,200 in inventory, but so Fudge almost has that as well. So he's definitely going to need that Cull pop to come in for Alphari. Fudge is going to have his time of his life fighting these team fights. I think something you were referencing earlier as far as team fight scaling of backlines versus frontlines difference.
Yeah.
And Cloud9's frontline scaling of their team fight being so far ahead is going to be a big difference maker for them. Because look at this, you've got your 2-item power spike on Perkz. He's loving the Essence Reaver, Kraken Slayer, Lucian at the moment. Gets another recall off, so probably going to get a component. He gets QSS. Blaber though.
Gets Blaber, flashes instead of yeah, okay. And now CoreJJ is stunned, but he's got cleanse. So he takes the arrow and walks right back out. That's a meaningful summoner, but not the most important thing in the world. Doesn't mean too much, doesn't hurt too much. A flashless Blaber, probably more important. But now a 3,000 gold lead lets them walk in. Vulcan snags the blue. Lands the Q just after Blaber throws his own javelin. So nice mana regen, good job.
High value Q from Vulcan. Big part is the denial from Jensen. You look at that mana pool, already low on mana for Jensen. Shockwave was used there earlier. Jensen cannot afford to miss a Shockwave in another team fight. Without that, they actually can't squeeze out a victory. With how far behind Alphari had been, Tactical still looking to put together his second item. He's been outpaced by Ashe already with the Phantom Dancer coming in. They really cannot afford for a Shockwave to miss. So you're looking at flash timers. We mentioned these being so big for Team Liquid this team comp. Alphari's got his, Santorin has his. Those should guarantee Shockwave hits. This time around, make sure you have the distance with your flash. Honestly, Alphari's probably the better choice since he also has Stride Breaker and Slice and Dice. Pass him the ball and ensure that he's going to be able to get that onto Zven, because Perkz buying up this QSS means Perkz is no longer going to be a viable target for that Wombo, and you probably are going to have to find value off of it on Ashe.
Waiting for the plays. Next Dragon spawns in 6 seconds, and Team Liquid are nowhere near this side of the map right now. Cloud9, similar to what they did in the last game, walking in, making sure there's no counterplay. There's not a big Baron attempt or anything. No, indeed there's not. They got their own control ward. They got some deep wards in the jungle. Okay, cool. Blaber gonna start it up. Zven gonna help a little bit, and then get back to the mid lane to not drop any gold or XP. They're comfortable. No one's around to steal. Keep in mind, they've got the wards in the bottom jungle as well to make sure all those avenues are controlled. And indeed, Dragon number 3 goes Cloud9's way. We are 5 minutes away from a Cloud Soul, as Cloud9 continue to hold on to this nearly 4,000 gold lead. It has been growing over time. Makes me think they are nowhere near getting outscaled just yet.
Yeah, I honestly don't even see it.
Yeah, they might just not at all.
I don't see it happening. Perkz here definitely can have control of side lanes. His teleport is not up, but they still have been able to keep pretty good control wards throughout the river. So, being as mobile as he is with his flash available, should be able to at least buy time if something like that does happen. And Fudge not only has teleport, but also his ulti ready. So I think that all that Cloud9 have to watch out for is one of those, sneaky picks, waiting in Tribrush or something like that. Perkz actually just charges up. He's got full confidence because of the deep ward there through lane. They know that nobody else was moving up as well, and that's going to give them control of Baron. If you force Team Liquid through one of these corridors leading up to Baron, they're doomed. Like, you cannot walk through a Sion Braum, especially with an Ashe arrow looking to pick you off. Team Liquid, this is going to get so incredibly frustrating for them to try and keep vision. If you toggle the vision to Team Liquid's viewpoint right now, they're
it's
losing
dangerous. All right, to pick up onto one. CoreJJ spits out to go back to safety, but Santorin doesn't have the same luxury. Dies right away. The culling pushes back Tactical, and CoreJJ on about 12 HP gets the gray health back up. But the jungler dead, Baron is on the table, and Cloud9 are looking to feast.
Yeah, they're looking to end the series here, Phreak. This should be... Okay, Jinx Rocket. You always got to keep in mind, Jinx Rocket can steal from 2.5k. And there are plenty of bodies around it.
Oh, down to 150. That was pretty close. That was a nice attempt by Tactical. Thankfully for Cloud9, they didn't do enough damage in time, and it wasn't quite the steal. Nothing else now for TL to do.
Yeah, okay, so at this point still, you can only steal it from like 1.5k, not 2.5 yet. But man, it hit at around 1.7 and got it down to like 50. Yeah, that's a heart stopper right there. Definitely good attempt there from Team Liquid, but Cloud9, all that matters is who is able to wear the Baron now. As close as that possible Baron steal was, this is now going to be Cloud9 marching straight in for the victory. There's another look at the pick, and again, Team Liquid are in a spot that's so dangerous where you cannot walk through that front line, and Ashe arrow guarantees a pick for Cloud9. So now with the Baron buff, this should be devastation. This should be Cloud9 getting inside inhibitor turret range.
Flash down for Orianna. At least a turret picked up there. 2-3 the turret score. That may not be the game score right now with Cloud9 certainly looking like they're going to close out in Game 4. We'll see if it happens, though. They've still got some more Rift to play around, but Perkz is safe in the top lane, pushing down top lane tier 2. Going to be 4-2 the turret score, as mid lane is also under fire. Zven pretty much untouched, just mostly goes for volley poke, as Perkz still shoves in top side, and the minions are dying without giving XP and gold over. TL spending all the resources defending mid, then even that turret will still die.
Yeah, Perkz is able to easily keep pressure here. Baron buff on the cannon minion. That means mid is already dead. And the only thing they have to look for, sweep around, look for any flank wards. There is one inside the wolf little alcove there, so maybe there would be some miracle, teleport flank in for Alphari, yeah, actually just Alphari to be able to try. Yep. They found it anyways. All right, the opening is gone for the flank. Alphari's just going to have to flash Stride Breaker in, and maybe Team Liquid could get the godlike Shockwave.
Minute left on Baron's buff right now. Rebel Baron ticking down to 50 is 1 minute also on Cloud Soul. So Cloud9, they can finish going for this one. A nice dive in the back line. Goodbye to Jinx already as CoreJJ was done. And he's going to die as well. Cloud Soul not required. An easy double kill on the duo lane. And this is over. Cloud9 looking at 27 minutes now on to the Nexus turret. The flash Q not going to land on a Jensen. A bit much for Vulcan, but don't worry, he's tanky. Shotgun pulls back. Fudge could be the target. Turrets are on. Stun's going to land. They will find this kill into Fudge, but be careful. Zombie Sion is a danger. However, Nidalee's dropped as well, and Zombie Sion's hitting the Nexus. So can they stop him? It's a 3v3 right now. Vulcan's out of mana. Alphari in the backline. Perkz trying to run away. Ashe still alive. Can Zven end the game? And yes, he can! Cloud9 takes down Team Liquid 3-1.
Phreak, this was such a fast series. Cloud9 just slamming Team Liquid in 3 of 4 games. Yes, Team Liquid won both regular season games. Yes, Team Liquid in the lock-in tournament took the series 3-2, but Cloud9 in the winner's bracket final, what a rebuttal from them. Honestly, this one looked like a powerful win for Cloud9. And if people are predicting Team Liquid to make it back to finals for the end of MSS here and have a rematch with Cloud9, it does feel like this is a huge amount of momentum on C9's side. Yep. They won with an early game comp. They won with a better scaling comp. They really had a lot of big points for them. They dealt with the mid lane pressure and tons of focus there as well. Honestly, this was really, really impressive from Cloud9, heading straight to the finals now.
Yeah, I mean, really beautiful by them. I gotta say, their top jungle synergy was heads and shoulders better. And I thought of any team to have the most top focus in this league, it was going to be Team Liquid. Grabbing Alphari, he's a shoo-in for the best top laner in the league before we started playing. We watched him play. He's the best top laner in the league. Like, there's no question about this one. And yet, it never really materialized. Like, they had their own Renekton game, and he roamed out of the lane instead. Sure, Sion on the opposing side, I get it, but you never had anything big come out of Alphari, and that feels like a missed opportunity, or good drafting by Cloud9, or a mix of all the above. Either way, Cloud9, by far, the better team today. We'll see if they're the better team next week, if it's going to be TL again or somebody else. But hey, more league to play throughout the rest of the season, and we're going to figure out who's going to the mid-season invitational at the end of it all. So with that win, Cloud9 have locked their spot in our mid-season Showdown finals, and we're going to step away. But when we return, the Tigers will be talking with Vulcan in our Verizon post-game interview. See you soon.